This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, early risers. Glad you're with us. 5 a.m. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb, not feeling well today. It is January 10th. That's what John Scalzi. Now foggy out there, John.
Indeed, it is. In fact, it's a first alert weather morning here on the Suncoast due to those fog issues, and it probably will be again tomorrow morning as well because the same sort of situation will exist. Fog visibility is reduced across the area, but specifically the deepest fog is located in inland areas and to our south. We have a 7 o'clock a.m. temperature of about 74 degrees, and then by noon, 73. By 3 p.m., warm today, 76 degrees and lots of sunshine around. Here are the fog issues across the area. You can see around Punta Gorda, mouth of Charlotte Harbor, visibility is down below 1 mile. And in Sarasota as well, we have patches of fog that have visibility down below half a mile. That's an issue for drivers. Remember, low beam headlights, take it slow, and allow a little extra space between cars. Plus, you might want to give yourself a little extra time for your morning commute. 63 degrees, the air temperature outside currently. It's a warm start to the morning thanks to that dew point temperature, which is also 63. The temperature dew point match gives 100% relative humidity. And under those low clouds, mist and fog, not seeing anything in the way of rain showers. I don't think we have a big rain chance today, maybe about 10%. That would be about it, mostly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we do have rains coming down the road and some chillier temperatures. We'll discuss all that coming up in just a few. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Again, fog out there, so please be alert. 301 northbound, some slowdowns after you get past State Road 70. Also Cortez westbound as you head toward Bradenton Beach. Checking farther south down to the northern half of Sarasota County. Some issues out there in Lakewood Ranch, east of the interstate in both directions on University. Also 301 southbound as you get past Martin Luther King. 41 southbound heading toward Bee Ridge. And our final map to the south will show us nothing to report right now at 5:02 on your Wednesday morning. Our top story, overnight, one person is confirmed dead after a shooting in southern Sarasota County. Northport police responded to a call from Porto Chico Avenue about 1:30 a.m. They're reporting possible gunfire there, in fact, a homicide. When they arrived, they found one person dead at the scene. There were initial reports others were shot, but so far that is yet to be confirmed. Right now, detectives are still on the scene investigating. We'll have a live update for you in the next half hour with a camera from the scene in Northport. On to other news now. Some Sarasota public teachers rallied last night outside the board meeting. As our Rick Adams tells us, they're concerned about their pay raises.
Well, it certainly has calmed down here at the Sarasota County School District. Hundreds of protesters, most of them teachers, were out here having their voices heard. They lined Tamiami Trail in front of the school district headquarters in Sarasota for as far as the eye could see. Teachers, aides, and other employees of the Sarasota County School District were protesting what they say is some of the lowest salaries in the country for teachers and other school employees.
We're not paid enough, but the idea that we will just lay down and accept whatever the board decides to give us is not who we are.
Currently, teacher salaries in Sarasota County range from $44,000 to $64,000 a year or less, depending on the school and the level of experience. Many teachers say the cost of living continues to go up and salaries are staying the same with very little raises.
If we are going to have an increase of under 1.5%, which is below the cost of living, that is underpaid right there.
Superintendent Todd Bowden's salary is $185,000 a year with an additional $15,000 a year of performance pay when goals are met. He tells us Sarasota County has some of the highest paid teachers in the state of Florida. A lot of the protesters are upset with the potential raise the superintendent most likely will be receiving, while they say the teachers' raises are very small.
The offer that we have on the table is a 3% raise for teachers. I believe the sticking point is how that money is distributed. We believe that that money should go to our highly effective teachers.
Although the protest was peaceful, those who participated are hoping they are being heard loud and clear.
It's time for our school board and our new superintendent to know Our people need to be compensated better or they're not going to have any employees in Sarasota County.
At this time, it's not known if and when this issue of pay and raises will be discussed at a future school board meeting. Reporting from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Meantime, Pineview School in Osprey is being called the best school in Florida. A study by 24/7 Wall Street takes into account student-to-teacher ratios, standardized test scores, and graduation rates. Nationwide, the survey also found increased improvement in test scores, advanced placement enrollment, and graduation rates in public schools. The city of Sarasota is hoping to run exclusively off renewable energy by the year 2050, and it's already going green by encouraging drivers to travel in electric cars. The city added 3 new electric car charging ports in parking garages and lots around the city. It's also updating 7 existing ports. These new and updated stations are free for the city as part of an agreement with Florida Power and Light. You can find the new charging stations at City Hall, the Palm Avenue garage, and also the St. Armand's South parking lot. Well, last week we told you about January being Move Over Awareness Month on the interstate. It reminds drivers of an emergency vehicle's lights are on to slow down and move over to the other lane. Well, one woman apparently was not listening to that report and led to her arrest. Taylor Bennett was driving on I-75 South in Northport and didn't move over for an emergency vehicle. Now, she was driving with an Indiana learner's permit and was also cited for not moving over. Deputies then searched her car and found more than $1,000 in cash and 200 grams of marijuana. She was arrested and remains in custody on $1,500 bond. A man wanted for an armed kidnapping that happened in August is now in custody. Northport police say this man, Aaron Gaynor, was wanted for kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, all for a home invasion robbery in North Carolina. Police say the victims, who are known to Gaynor, are all accounted for and okay. Gaynor was captured by U.S. Marshals last week and is now in custody. An arrest has been made in a Lakewood Ranch home invasion robbery that happened last June. They say 20-year-old Joseph Capozzi is the second person arrested in connection with the drug-related home invasion. Capozzi was arrested in North Carolina and is charged with home invasion robbery. Detectives say 3 more accomplices are still on the run. 5:07 right now. The city of Venice taking a closer look at sexual harassment policies. Our Chris Brantley has more on the story.
Given the situation that's happening right now throughout our nation and our state, just to ask the staff to go through it and make sure it's up to date.
Vice Mayor Bob Daniels is asking the city's human resources staff to reopen the book on sexual harassment policy.
Over the years, there's been various allegations of this or that type of harassment. There's not been a major problem.
Just a few weeks ago, a photo came to light appearing to show Venice's Mayor John Hollick grabbing a woman's chest. The woman did not complain or call it harassment. We wondered if Daniel's policy request was reaction to that photo.
Nothing is triggering it other than perhaps the environment is going nationally and so forth. And I just want to make sure that there's anything that is perhaps it could be improved or updated, we go ahead and do it.
Alan Bullock is the HR director. His office has investigated harassment and sexual harassment allegations made against employees.
We have to go into these investigations with an open mind and just not draw any conclusions before we have all of the facts.
Employees are encouraged to come forward if they feel they're being harassed either verbally, physically, or sexually. All 300 employees have signed a document agreeing not to harass anyone.
City employees are all bound by that document. In addition to that, when city employees first start with us, they're required to do a training program.
Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Now, this comes 1 week after we learned that acting legend Ben Vereen was accused of inappropriate behavior while directing the musical Hair at the Venice Theater 2 years ago. A St. Petersburg woman is behind bars for allegedly leading a high-speed chase that stretched through 2 states. The 19-year-old began the chase on I-75 in southern Georgia. It stretched all the way across the state line to North Florida. Sheriff deputies said the car was driving 130 miles an hour, driving in both north and southbound lanes. The chase lasted 25 minutes and stretched 30 miles. Police say eventually she pulled over and was taken into custody. They charged Sienna Janae Princess Allen with aggravated felony fleeing, there she is, and also eluding by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. A Tallahassee judge is declaring Florida's 24-hour abortion waiting period unconstitutional and is blocking enforcement of the law. Circuit Judge Terry Lewis ruled that the 2015 law was an intrusion of privacy rights. The state constitution establishes the right to be left alone and free from governmental intrusion in one's private life. The ruling is not a complete surprise since the Florida Supreme Court temporarily blocked the law from taking effect last year. Governor Scott first signed the waiting period back in 2015, but it was quickly challenged by the ACLU on behalf of a Gainesville abortion clinic. And in an abrupt turnaround, the White House now says it will not allow oil drilling off the coast of Florida. The state was removed from the plan to open previously protected parts of the Atlantic and eastern Gulf of Mexico to offshore oil and gas drilling. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke credited Governor Scott for the decision to remove Florida from the drilling proposal that was announced last Thursday, and Scott thanked Zinke for hearing out his concerns.
I'm appreciative that the Secretary came to Tallahassee to sit down and talk about it, and has committed that as a result of our interest in making sure that there's no drilling here, that Florida will be taken off the table.
Last week, Governor Scott issued a statement that opposed opening Florida waters beyond the nation's outer continental shelf. The initial drilling proposal was condemned by Florida politicians from both parties. Certainly strong feelings on both sides. Some say we need to get away from our foreign dependence on oil. Others say be careful off our coasts.
It's amazing what you can get done in an election year, though, huh?
Good point, yes.
It's incredible.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, you know, Florida's big oil spill problem occurred from an oil rig in the western Gulf of Mexico.
That's true.
Not the eastern Gulf of Mexico.
That's right.
So, interesting little fact there.
Meantime, back onshore, some fog out there. Yeah.
Big issue across the region is going to slow your morning commute. I think allow some extra time and some distance between cars. Low beam headlights until the fog lifts. Then pretty nice day shaping up.
All right, good to hear.
Talk about it.
Also ahead, First Alert traffic, and we'll tell you how you can save energy on those bills during the cooler months right now. And later in the hour, we'll look at those mudslides that have killed over a dozen people in Southern California.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
It's time to take a road trip.
Huntsville is a must-see destination. Is this your stop?
Roger.
Marvel at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Wow. Step into the past at Alabama Constitution Village. All aboard! The golf is stellar, and even the food is out of this world in the Rocket City. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We've got a first alert morning here on the Suncoast due to the fog that's out there. Reducing visibilities below half a mile in some locations could slow your morning commute. Allow yourself some extra time. Distance between cars, low beam headlights, that's the key to a safe commute. As far as the hour-by-hour forecast goes, let's take it through 7 a.m. and we have that fog still lingering across the area. It clears out by noon, certainly, and brings us a nice day today with lots of sunshine around and kind of reduced rainfall chances. Yesterday, our rainfall chance was at about 20%. Today, probably closer to about 10%. That's about it. Otherwise, it'll be a warm afternoon as we head into the 4 p.m. 5 p.m. time frame. We're looking at temperatures that'll be solidly in the mid to upper 70s today, well above average, and not much in the way of a rain chance as we head into the evening period either. Now, tomorrow we'll probably watch that fog forming again toward the morning hours, and that could again bring us some reduced visibilities. Rain chance tomorrow goes up slightly, but not all that much, probably at about 20%, particularly for the evening period. A few scattered showers around the region. Not really bringing us great rainfall totals. We'll save the better chance for some appreciable rainfall totals for probably into Friday evening, Friday night. Still working out the exact timing. We have a front headed our way on Friday night that's going to bring us at least a 50% chance of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two as that moves through the area. Current temperatures across the state are solidly in the 60s most everywhere you go, so we're looking at a very warm condition, warm, muggy, humid condition across the entire state. That's leading to this somewhat widespread fog with dense fog advisories down to our south. Not here locally yet a dense fog advisory, but let's not rule it out. We still have some time to go, and we could see that expand. Certainly some thick fog in inland areas, Arcadia, Wauchula, Mayaca City, Ona, all seeing the potential for some fog developing, and that's spreads closer to coastal regions. Sarasota seeing a little bit of denser fog and also down around Punta Gorda this morning. Not much in the way of rainfall, as I mentioned. That trough of low pressure that was spinning in the atmosphere yesterday weakening and expanding and opening up. So we're not seeing a lot of action here locally with any kind of rainfall, and probably won't today. As I mentioned, we'll save that for Friday. Beach and boating forecast, nice day out on the water. Really, after that fog lifts, and by mid-morning, I think you're looking at some pretty nice conditions with light winds and basically smooth to light chop on bay and inland waters, closer to smooth. So for this morning, fog forms, that lifts, gives us a mostly sunny sky and a daytime high temperature, very warm, around 77. Tomorrow, we could see that fog again. We'll factor in a slight chance at a shower as well, especially later in the afternoon and into the evening. Warm throughout the period, both on the day and night side. Then as we head into Friday, we'll watch for increasing clouds. It will become a little bit breezy during the afternoon. Boaters pay attention to that. And then as we head into the evening, a 50% chance of rainfall. That's a frontal boundary that'll be moving through, and when it does, it'll lower our weekend temperatures. Sunday being the coldest. Martin Luther King Day, we warm slightly, but we'll still be in the 60s. Nighttime lows in the 40s. Ray?
I was hoping winter was over, John. We're back to chilly again on Sunday. Let's check the roads right now. Indeed, foggy across the area. 301 northbound slow as you get past State Road 70. Farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. You'll see a little blip there on University in the westbound lane at Whitfield, also in Lakewood Ranch westbound just east of the diverging Diamond 41 south near Bay of Vista and Weber. And farther south, we'll check that map and see all clear at 519 on your Wednesday morning. It is January 10th, and today is National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. Don't send a card. It's a day to remind you to take a look around your home for some places that might be costing you extra money. Here are some tips for you. First off, think about investing in a programmable thermostat. You can set times and days and adjust the controls to help you keep you and your home at the right temperature. Next, take a look at the appliances. Old appliances aren't energy efficient and replacing with a newer model could save you money in the long run. Fridges, freezers, dishwashers, and washing machines are the top money burners. Also, double check your window and door seals. Cool air in the summer can escape through poorly installed windows and doors. The 2018 Consumer Electronics Show is underway in Las Vegas. Companies show off their high-tech gadgets. Panasonic has unveiled a concept SUV that could be the future of driverless cars. Now get this, there's no steering wheel, there's no pedals, just a cabin for chairs and display screens, a cabin. Chairs can face in different directions for passengers to focus on their own screens or perhaps have a business meeting within the vehicle. Panasonic also envisions a relaxed style version with a 22-speaker surround system along with side and ceiling screens for movies or music. And you might also be able to enjoy a glass of wine without opening the bottle. Look at this new 11 wine preservation opener. It lets you pour a glass of wine while keeping the cork in place. The bottle stays sealed, which can preserve it for years, and it comes with an app that pairs wines with your favorite foods or favorite chips and cheese. It should be available in the fall. It will cost under $1,000, so no more corks. That's good news for me. I break a lot of corks, it seems. 5:21 right now, still heading Good Morning Suncoast. We'll tell you why Apple is under investigation in France. And next half hour, a bipartisan deal involving immigration reform is on the agenda on Capitol Hill. Those stories and more when we come back.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Every day we update some fresh content on our respective pages, so like the page, check it out, get a behind-the-scenes look at how we do it here at Good Morning Suncoast. We each have our pages there. We do daily updates also on Instagram and Facebook as well, your daily local news updates, so when you get a chance, check that out. We also have a new app for you to like as well at My Suncoast or WWSB. Android users get that sent right to your phone. It is Wednesday morning, foggy out there right now, 63 degrees at 5:24. Now, Apple admits it did slow down some older phones, but an investigation is still underway in France. That and more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple under investigation for its iPhone slowdown.
Last month, Apple apologized for slowing down older iPhones, a move it said was necessary to avoid unexpected shutdowns related to battery fatigue.
Well, French authorities have now opened a criminal investigation into this revelation.
Amazon's Alexa is hitting the road. Toyota will begin putting the voice assistant into some of its vehicles starting this year.
And drivers will be able to ask Alexa to turn up the heat or find music or provide directions. Ford and Hyundai are already supporting Alexa. And the Robo Mantis is a new star at the Consumer Electronics Show.
Go. This video from the Daily Mail shows it can walk or roll across any type of terrain. The Robo Mantis is made by the same company that's creating the robot arms for NASA's next Mars rover. How cool is that?
I love how people are just walking by, not paying that much attention to it. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Geico.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, all because of a burst water pipe in their house that ruined the hardwood floors in their kitchen. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped them with homeowners insurance, and the inside of their house was repaired and floors replaced. Jack and Jill no longer have to fetch water. They now fetch sugar-free vanilla lattes with almond milk. Call Geico and see how affordable homeowners insurance can be.
How do y'all feel about the new Weight Watchers Freestyle program?
You can have anything you want. It's real food.
The new Weight Watchers Freestyle program has over 200 foods that are 0 points. Now you can count less and enjoy more. Join for free and lose 10 pounds on us. Offer extended to January 15th.
At Safe Flight Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why we show you exactly when we'll be there, saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, over a dozen people killed in mudslides in Southern California. A strong earthquake prompts a tsunami warning for several countries in the Caribbean and Central America. And does Google discriminate against conservative white males? Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
We are there among the fog somewhere. It is a misty morning right now, some damp roads and foggy conditions. Indeed, a first alert morning. It is 5:30 right now, 63 degrees, January 10th. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today, not feeling great. John Scalzi is in place, and a busy morning for you, sir.
Yeah, first alert weather morning once again, and probably will be again tomorrow morning because of the fog issues, reducing visibility, slowing your morning commute, requiring extra distance between cars, low beam headlights, and a little extra commute time this morning as visibilities are down below half a mile in many places. Becky in Omayaka reports in, says, oh my goodness, it is so foggy out there. So, you know, just especially if you're coming from inland areas where the fog seems to be the thickest, make sure that you allow extra time. 58 degrees, says she. Mark in Palmetto comes in with 64 degrees. First alert weather morning throughout the morning hours. I think we'll look at a little bit of fog on the ground just after dawn. It tends to be the worst, and then as we get a little bit of light, that fog will lift into a low cloud. That will eventually mix away and give way into some sunshine, and it should be a pretty nice day today. We're looking at a daytime high that tops out warmer than average, coming in at around 76. Here's your fog map, and you can see visibility is down to a quarter mile or less in Venice, 3/4 mile in Sarasota, half a mile in Punta Gorda. So the fog is thickening, it's getting deeper, and visibilities are falling, and will so probably for the next 2.5 hours or so. So we'll have the complete forecast for you, including another cold front lowering weekend temperatures coming up in just a few, Ray.
Oh boy, thank you, John. I think let's check the roads right now. Again, foggy out there. John said visibility getting worse, not better. There's a 301 northbound, some congestion as you get past State Road 70. I'm not sure why that's a nagging problem there. Also Cortez westbound as you head toward Bradenton Beach. Farther south in the northern half of Sarasota County. We'll check that. A little blip there in University out by Lakewood Ranch, particularly in the westbound lane east of the interstate. Be aware of that little snag. And South County all clear at 5:32 on your Wednesday morning. Topping our news, last month it was wildfires, and now it's deadly mudslides in Southern California. As ABC's Candace Gibson tells us, there may be a connection.
A frantic search overnight for the missing. After heavy rain unleashed massive mudslides in Southern California.
It's my mom, and I'm fighting with all my heart to find her, but like I can't focus too much on she's most likely dead out here.
In Montecito, Robert Riskin and his friend wearing wetsuits and helmets looking for Robert's mother.
I've just been clawing through the mud, and it's hard to hold hope when the mud is so deep, you know, but it's your mom, so what do you gotta just keep going. She's a grandmother, she's, yeah, one of my best friends, and just gotta keep going, man.
But with no luck. Robert breaking down during the search, taking pictures and collecting items from her home.
It's hard to process. I mean, you look at your house that like you grew up in, and it's in pieces.
The fast-moving mud with the consistency of wet concrete, destroying everything in its path.
It sounded like a hurricane or a freight train coming through. I mean, this is just, I can't quite believe it. Is that a house behind us? Was that a house?
Witnesses describing the scenes in Santa Barbara County as apocalyptic. Rescuers saving this muck-covered 14-year-old girl. This massive tree stabbing through a portion of what was a home. Reports of people holding on to trees for hours. One official comparing it to a World War I battlefield. ABC's Matt Gutman in Montecito.
Firefighters are telling us that...
Okay, we'll keep on going here. The U.S. Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said tsunami waves were possible for several countries in the Caribbean and Central America, as well as Mexico, after a magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck nearly 150 miles off the coast of Honduras overnight. Tsunami waves are possible for the coasts of Belize, Cuba, Honduras, Mexico, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. More as it develops right here on ABC 7. A U.S. company is set to help in the search for a Malaysian plane that disappeared 4 years ago. The U.S.-based firm Ocean Infinity agreed to resume the search on a no-find, no-fee basis. A company spokesman said the vessel Seabed Constructor has been moved into place toward the search zone. That Malaysian Airlines 370 flight disappeared in 2014 during a routine flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. There were 227 passengers and 12 crew on board. New developments overseas as South Korea's president says he is open to a summit with North Korea if certain conditions are met. South Korea's president vows to push for more talks and cooperation with the North to try and resolve the ongoing nuclear standoff. The latest push comes just a day after reaching a deal to send a North Korean delegation to next month's Winter Olympics in South Korea. Former senior White House strategist Steve Bannon is stepping down from the media company he is known for. Breitbart News focuses on far-right news and opinions. You'll recall last week Bannon made national news for releasing a tell-all book about his year in the White House. President Trump said Bannon has lost his mind. Some say Bannon was under pressure to resign from Breitbart after slamming the president and the First Family. Meantime, a federal judge has dealt a setback to White House plans to end the so-called DACA program involving illegal aliens. Reporter Lana Zek has the latest.
Happening overnight, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, better known as DACA, is being protected now by a federal judge. President Trump had announced that the program would be ending March 5th, meaning current DACA immigrants could face deportation. But the judge's ruling orders the government to accept renewal applications from current dreamers as the battle continues to be fought both in the courts and in Congress.
I hope that the folks watching most closely this court's temporary injunction are the members in Congress who need to act to find a permanent fix for the dreamers.
The move puts another level of pressure on Congress and the president to come up with a solution. Earlier on Tuesday, the president convened lawmakers to hash it out.
It should be a bill of love, and we can do that. But it also has to be a bill where we're able to secure our border.
And in a White House first, the president let immigration negotiations between Democrats and Republicans play out before television cameras. The Democrats pushing for a separate deal on DACA.
What about a clean DACA bill now, and with a commitment that we go into a comprehensive immigration reform procedure?
I have no problem. I think that's basically what Dick is saying. We're going to come out with DACA. We're going to do DACA, and then we can start immediately on the phase 2, which would be comprehensive.
Would you be agreeable to that?
Yeah, I would like to do it.
But Republicans pushed back.
Mr. President, you need to be clear, though. I think what Senator Feinstein's asking here, when we talk about just DACA, we don't want to be back here 2 years later. You have to have security, as the Secretary would tell you.
The Department of Justice is reacting to that judge's ruling, saying that the administration acted within their legal authority, and they say that the fate of DACA remains with Congress. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
Two former Google software engineers are suing the tech giant, alleging it discriminates against white conservative males. One of those suing Google is James Damore. He was the senior software engineer fired by Google last summer after a controversial essay he wrote about the company's diversity policies. The lawsuit alleges that Google awarded bonuses to employees who criticized Damore, also who kept internal blacklists to prevent conservative employees from getting opportunities at Google, and also they failed to protect workers who supported President Trump. Congress is now back in session, and state lawmakers in Tallahassee are also back to work as well. Senate President Joe Negron led things off yesterday, saying the Senate will have zero tolerance for sexual harassment or misconduct. He's also focused on solving the state's opioid crisis, saying those who sell drugs should be prosecuted and those who are addicted should receive support.
Men and women who come forward, who seek help, that we have appropriate solutions for them, that we have appropriate treatment, including medication assisted treatment, to give them every opportunity to overcome their addiction.
Members who have been recognized.
And then farther down the hall, House Speaker Richard Corcoran told members that the House will continue to fight to make sure every child is afforded a world-class education. Corcoran also made clear the House will not go along with any tax increases.
The Florida House will never support raising taxes on any individual or any business ever.
Florida's 60-day session runs through March 9th, and the only bill lawmakers are required to pass is a balanced budget that would take effect on July the 1st. We'll keep you posted on that. And also, I heard you say fog is getting worse, not better.
Yes, sir. Usually does around dawn, a little after dawn. It's when it's the thickest usually, and that's the case this morning. It continues to drop, fog kind of moving from inland areas to coastal regions. This is your Lakewood Ranch webcam, and you can already see the visibility kind of getting worse there as the fog begins to thicken. It's a first alert weather morning because of the fog, and probably will be again tomorrow morning. We'll detail that forecast in a sec.
All right, also ahead, first alert traffic. And how accurate are those fitness trackers on your wrist? A new study might surprise you. That's next after John's forecast in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. Services.com. AND Services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried, Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And Services.com. AND Services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So here you go. It's a first alert weather morning because of the fog issues. It's the Cortez Bridge webcam just after midnight. Now watch that distant traffic light or street light as we put the put the webcam into motion, and you'll notice how it becomes obscured by the fog, just reducing visibility. In fact, at one point, fog so thick that it condenses on the camera lens into little droplets. So allow yourself some extra time this morning. It's thick along the coastline now in Bradenton, also across the area in Sarasota near the airport. Visibility's down to half a mile. And even in Venice, we've now down to visibilities of 1/4 mile or less. So fog is expanding. It started off the morning only in inland areas, but now that is coming across the coastal regions as well. Sea fog may be developing in addition. So allow yourself that extra time. Distance between cars, that's important. Expand that. Use those low beam headlights. And most importantly, start your commute just a little bit earlier so you're not rushed. As far as the fog goes, it'll be with us through the morning hours just after dawn. Then the fog starts to lift, gives us that low cloud deck, but that's okay. It's not going to produce any rainfall. That mixes away with time into a mostly sunny sky today, and should be a pretty nice day out there, I think. Daytime high temperatures will be warm this afternoon. By 3 p.m., we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s, which is pretty remarkable considering where we were just a few days ago, right? So here's your futurecast through the morning hours. The fog is kind of lingering. By 7 a.m. it's still around, lifting into some low clouds, then giving way to sunshine as we head into the lunchtime hour. By school time pickup, things are still mostly sunny skies to partly sunny skies with little chance of rainfall. And then as we head into the evening, dining al fresco should not be an issue with a lot of sunshine mixed with fairly clear skies, partly cloudy skies. Then as we head into sunset, should be a nice sunset, I think, as some of the high thin clouds will be around. Coastal fog may linger by tomorrow morning, starting to build again, and the fog building in inland areas as well. Slight chance at a shower tomorrow, especially as we head into the evening hours. We'll see perhaps a shower or two, maybe even a thunderstorm. That'll occur mostly, though, the thunderstorm chance on Friday. As we head into Friday morning, maybe a scattered shower or two, but the fog may be around on Friday morning. However, the winds are going to be picking up, so it's quite possible that we won't have that fog issue Friday morning. We'll be monitoring that and updating you day by day on that issue. Current temperatures across the state, generally everywhere in the 60s, locally certainly and solidly in the 60s, and fairly uniform from inland to coastal regions because of that fog. No rainfall around our area, but the other coast seeing a few scattered showers. We're dry right now. Local temperatures, as I mentioned, 63, Sarasota 62, Arcadia, Mayaca the same, Perry 63, Bradenton 62. We have a little bit of cloud over on the other coast. This is that trough of low pressure. If you want to see where that twist in the winds is, go to the water vapor imagery. It shows you that swirl and motion in the atmosphere aloft, and you can see where that low is, but it's expanding, elongating, and basically falling apart. Shouldn't be a bad day out on the waters, except for that fog, which will linger through the morning hours. Coastal fog, northeast wind coming in, and then shifting to the northwest at about 5 knots. Light chop on bay and inland waters. And the 7-day forecast, nice today, but watch that morning fog. Sunshine, then warm temperatures. Tomorrow, fog around as well. Slight chance of showers. And then on Friday, a good day, but then watch the second half of the day. It gets breezy, and we factor in a chance of thunderstorms as a front moves through and cools us off for the weekend. It'll be cold on Sunday, I think, with daytime highs only in the 50s, right?
Boy, back in the 50s again. Sock hops. Let's check the roads right now. Fog out there, but good news is 301 is cleared up a bit since earlier in the morning. Cortez, little blip there in the westbound lanes heading toward the beaches. Farther south now in the upper half of Sarasota County, Bee Ridge showing some activity there in the westbound lanes around Beneva, also 41 by the new Weston there. I can stop saying New Weston now, I guess. And South County all clear at 5:48 on your Wednesday morning. In this hour's Health Mart, many of you wear those fitness trackers on your wrist, but how accurate are they? Well, a new study took 7 popular brands of fitness watches and found none were that accurate. In fact, the most accurate device was still off by 27%. The least accurate was off by 93%. Health experts say try to get 10,000 steps a day. Now, meet Pointer, a dog who was cruelly shot with a BB gun. Pointer ended up with a pellet lodged in the spinal cord, so Pointer's now recovering with water therapy. There he goes, doing the doggy paddle. Gives him a chance to learn how to redistribute his weight in a non-weight-bearing environment. This will help him regain muscle memory so he may walk again. He then gets a daily massage and dose of laser therapy. This painless procedure loosens his muscles and reduces swelling as well.
The body is amazing what it can withstand and what it can recover from. We treat, paralyzed patients all the time, and you just shouldn't give up.
Pointer will be up for adoption next month in Texas. A Michigan man getting another chance to walk. This is Corey Zielinski. He's been paralyzed for about 10 years since he fell 25 feet. But he has found a way to get back on his feet, quite literally. 2 years ago, doctors gave him a new option called ReWalk. It's a robotic exoskeleton that helps people with spinal cord injuries walk again. Here he comes. He tried it out with his daughter, Emma, right by his side.
I'll be able to walk her down the aisle. I don't have to wheel down the aisle with her. I can walk her down the aisle. I can talk to her face to face.
The legs carry quite a price tag, so Zielinski is still trying to raise money with a GoFundMe account. He also says he needs to have a new ramp to help get him in and out of his house. Some great progress there. Amazing medicine. Still had your latest day's news headlines, and also he didn't make it home for the holidays, but he is home now. His story after this.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local boys and girls clubs. Great futures start here.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at nationalguard.com.
Pea soup, that's the soup of the day. Foggy out there right now. It's a first alert weather morning. John will have details of that in a little bit. 63 degrees right now. Should see a high of 77, but again, foggy out there right now, so Leave a little earlier today as you hit the road. Here are some of the top headlines making news today. We're going to begin with a live picture from South Sarasota County in Northport. There's been an overnight homicide at 1:30 a.m. Police responded to calls of shots fired on Porto Chico Avenue. We don't know much more right now about it. We'll have updates throughout the morning here on ABC 7. The city of Sarasota is hoping to run exclusively off renewable energy by the year 2050, and it's already going green by increasing the number of electric charging stations for cars in Sarasota. And in Tallahassee, judges declaring Florida's 24-hour abortion waiting period unconstitutional and is blocking enforcement of that law. And finally, this is the first time Private First Class Derek Gilbert walked the halls of Springfield, Ohio, not as a student, but as a soldier in the Army. His mission on this day, to surprise his sister. Let's watch. Private Gilbert spent the last year stationed in South Korea, where he spent the holiday away from home. Very emotional reunion right there. She's all grown up. He's also proud that his sister might be going down the military path as well, as she's currently part of her high school ROTC program. Love watching those reunions, John.
Yeah, it's always hard when they march away from home, but when they come back, it's a lovely thing.
Again, fog increasing right now, and it's a first alert kind of day.
It is indeed. First alert weather morning because of visibilities below a quarter mile. Allow yourself some extra commute time this morning so you're not rushed.
Yeah, good idea. We'll have more on that, the fog, traffic, and also that overnight homicide in Northport. More local news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast here on ABC 7.